So during your studies, you're probably really busy trying to manage courses, friends, family, etc. But you also want to get these opportunities while still being able to watch your favorite Netflix shows. So I compiled a list of 3 tips that I wished I knew during my bachelor's and my master's that allowed me to get a lot more opportunities later in life. So the first tip I want to give is to put your work online as soon as you start university in any type of way, because that's something I really regretted. So Austin Kleon says in his book Show Your Work that if your work is not online, it doesn't really exist. And I actually agree with this. So I would encourage you to think about what you use in your studies or during your studies and try to see if you can somehow reinvent it and put it online. So think about if you're doing coding, if you're using some GitHub code, think about publishing your code as well. Or if you love watching Study With Me YouTube tutorials or videos, think about making one yourself. Or even if you're reading a lot of interesting articles, I think it's really nice if you put it on Twitter, for example, and shout out an article that you really like. And I think by doing this, you kind of build your own knowledge system a little bit faster, because by trying to explain something that you learned to someone else, that is so much more difficult than just learning it for yourself. And I think secondly, it is also a really good way to build up your CV. So during my bachelor's, I did a lot of computational projects, but I never put them on GitHub. And I now kind of regret that, because it would have been really good during any type of technical interview to show what I had already accomplished on GitHub. And I think lastly, it can also really create these kind of golden nuggets. So if you, for example, write a blog post on your first year of your bachelor and you do this every week, at the end of the year, you would have 52 blog posts that could perhaps get picked up by someone that really likes it. And I think by doing this, you can kind of create your own following. So the second advice I would give to my younger self is to look into lab rotations, internships, and scholarships as soon as possible. Because when I was still living in the Netherlands, I thought people like me couldn't really get a scholarship in my home country. But actually, if you look at countries abroad, a lot of countries are offering specifically for foreign students really good scholarships or really good lab rotations / internships. So I think trying to find internships, lab rotations, and scholarships is actually not as hard as you think if you're willing to look outside of your own country. And the added benefit of that is that you get a really good travel experience. So one of the places I would look if you want to study in any country in the European Union, you have these Marie Curie grants that you can apply to, and they're relatively not super difficult to get, I think. So yeah, and also for lab rotations, something I did during my bachelor is that I just emailed professors that I really liked, and this way I scored a really cool lab rotation in Germany, which I also got a small stipend for. So I think just trying to reach out to people and ask if they have any type of opportunity for you, even if you're just a bachelor or just a first year, I think this is a really good experience and kind of teaches you how to apply for scholarships / lab rotations / internships, and also how to get them. And the last thing to get more opportunities is also to be open and willing to give more opportunities to others. So I think if you are a little bit further in your studies, to help, for example, undergraduates or some of your colleagues finish some of their papers or thesis is a really good way to get more opportunities yourself as well. Because I think training juniors, helping friends with papers, and joining bigger projects, in the end, you can become, for example, a second author, or you can have just a really good learning experience of mentoring someone. Because I think mentoring people is not valued enough, but I do think if you are a really good mentor, usually trainees really appreciate you for the longer time. So I would really encourage you, if you are a little bit further in your studies, to also spread the knowledge that you have gathered. So thank you for listening to this video. And if you are struggling a little bit with your productivity, I also made another video specifically about productivity. And otherwise, I wish you a really good week and see you next time. Bye.